I got COVID.
And they just go, really, Alex?
It is what it is.
Really, you're stupid. Let's have a cherry on top. Look at this. Watch, see that? So it I thought the ivermectin. Oh no, Bouncey's right. I didn't turn into a horse. I turned into a donkey. Yeehaw.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
We are TFR. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning, TFR.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the planet. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
And a happy Tuesday to you all. Welcome to the Ironworx, right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. And a happy new year to you all, which I think happened over the weekend.
Oh, I'm sorry. I stepped on you. I was excited.
Yeah, you sound terribly excited.
I'm trying to wake up. Hey, it looks like we're still waiting to go live on Rockfin. Just trying to give you a little heads up because I don't know how it all works.
I don't either, apparently. Remember how I talk about how I have to wait like 30 seconds before the thing to pop
go
up?
back and hit it again or whatever.
Nothing has popped up. I have it scheduled. It's here. I'm looking at it, but I can't.
I saw it count down.
Click
I
it.
watched the time transpire, and
yeah, I don't.
Now it's just starting soon. So, well, anyway, we tried over there for you guys. I'm the only one there. It looks like watching. So, let's have some coffee. Hang on, everybody, have coffee. Go.
How are you doing, Zachary?
Oh, not bad. Just trying to wake up, pour some coffee on the brain. I had trouble falling asleep last night. I don't know what was going on.
Yep, myself.
But I'm awake. Made sure my alarm was extra loud.
Whatever bizarre, crazy electromagnetic, electrostatic DEW. I don't know, but for some reason now this is our second weird, bizarre, centralized, localized, temporally localized weather event in about a week now. We had one just like last week, a weird overnight, strange, one time go thing. And now today at about 8 o'clock or so, we're going to have tornadoes. Not, favorable conditions or somebody saw one over in their field, or I don't know. At a certain time, y'all are going to have tornadoes. Get ready, buckle down, have preparations done, and etc. And I'm just like Zach and I this morning talking about growing up in Tornado Alley, which isn't where I live now, and how that wasn't at all how tornadoes were predicted. Oh, well, they've advanced the technology. Talk to Granny's weather beetle about that. It's not that. It's still a big guessing game, especially if you live in certain areas, such as here in Louisiana, where it's a pretty big guessing game from one minute to the next. So yeah, for them to be telling us since last night that this is going to happen, I don't know. It's just really weird, really localized. Somebody pissed someone off. Frank over there at the weather drone, right?
And, yep.
Yeah. Anyway, how was your weekend, Josh?
Oh, I did yard work. Figured we'd try to get a jump start on some of that yard work, and I realized just how old and out of shape I am. So
do it.
Shit.
Every time. Every time.
How long did it take? You were like, damn.
About 3 days.
I'm out of shape.
Like, we started Saturday. Wasn't too bad. I woke up Sunday. I'm like, wow, not too sore. Kind of surprising. Busted our ass yesterday. We got back out on Sunday and worked a little more. I'm like, well, not too bad. I'm a little sore coming in. It was 4 or 5 hours out there. It wasn't all day. I'm like, yeah, my arm's a little sore. I woke up yesterday and it's like the triceps. I worked my triceps so hard. It's like almost a tendonitis there in my elbow. So it just hurts to bend my left arm or straighten my left arm. So as long as I don't keep it straight or bend it, I'm all right.
That's one of the worst ones.
As long as you just don't keep it straight or bend it, you're good.
Yep.
I got it.
Shout out real quick, Commodore 2 in chat saying it's the day 322. I believe our good friend Zach here said that right as we were about to go live when I was complaining about not sleeping and the weird weather. So you could be correct, folks. It could be the day. Now, sorry, you have a new toy.
Yeah, 12-inch.
Whoa,
new saw. Yeah, it's like a miter saw arm. I forget. It's a miter saw. It's awesome. I can cut through 4x4s now, like butter.
Like butter.
Yep. Today starts the beginning of the porch. That deck we're building. I'm excited. I get to dig holes in clay. Play with concrete today.
Nothing like digging holes in clay.
So, being March 22nd, 322, it brings up interesting questions like, what is it about this day? Is this have anything to do with, Skull and Bones Secret Society? Is this one of their, like, May 1st is May Day and all that kind of, do they do anything on these days? Well, I just put in this day in history, and of course, it is from the history.com history channel. So I don't even know if any of this is, super legitimate here, but Stamp Act imposed on American colonies. 1765. 3/22/1765. It's where they levied a direct tax on all materials printed for commercial and legal use in the colonies. Newspaper pamphlets to playing cards and dice. They just started taxing all kinds of stuff.
And I think that was one of those that kicked off that taxation without representation.
Yep.
So it's
one of those.
So the Stamp Act essentially could have very well be linked back to the kickoff of the Revolutionary War.
Yep, that's what it's saying about at the end. One of their meetings, a growing nationalism emerged that would culminate in the fighting of the American Revolution only a decade later. That's one thing they did on 322. That was one of those big ones. They say also on this day, the first Masters Golf Championship tees off in Augusta. First women's college basketball game was played. A mudslide, natural disasters and environments in Washington State kills more than 40 people. In 1820, American naval hero killed in a duel. I don't know why that would be so super. Okay, whatever. They were dueling. Equal Rights Amendment passed by Congress. 1972. Arab League formed. 1945 in the Middle East. Representatives from Egypt, Syria, Lebanon, Transjordan, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Yemen all meet in Cairo to establish the Arab League. Oh, there's even a little bit more here. FDR legalizes sale of beer and wine. First Stanley Cup championship played. News Corp and NBC announced new internet venture. That was 2007. 1984. Teachers are indicted at the McMartin Preschool. That's crime. 1984. Cold War. 1947. President Truman orders loyalty checks of federal employees. Checks. Wow. So, like the Russians making sure that they weren't Russian spies. And then the last thing they have, Inventions in Science, 1983, the origins of the Hummer. The high mobility, multi-purpose wheeled vehicle, Humvee. I didn't know they were started in 83. They used to make those right down the road from me in South Bend, Indiana.
Well, interestingly enough, a little stretch back in time showing that the lettuce has been rampant for some time now. March 22nd, 1995, the longest human space adventure ends. Cosmonaut Valery Polyakov, I'm probably murdering that name all the way around, returns to Earth after the longest ever stay in space by a human. Spent just over 437 days on the Mir space station. Remember the old Mir, everybody? Remember watching them build it and when they took it down and all that?
Yeah, I remember Robert Bassano finding all those balloon launches that said Mir.
Thanks to a strenuous workout regimen, he returned to Earth looking big and strong, like he could wrestle a bear, in the words of NASA astronaut Norman Sagard. So yeah, he was a doctor. He volunteered for the extra long mission to prove human bodies could survive in microgravity long enough to make a trip to Mars. When he got back on terra firma, he took pains to show he was no worse for the zero G wear. So I guess in 95, it didn't make you shrink or make your brain do weird shit or make your twin turn evil or whatever's going on there. None of that was going on in 95, or they just hadn't discovered it yet. That happens a lot in space, I guess. They don't know things, so it doesn't affect them.
Yeah, I mean, you can go through microwave radiation belts no problem as long as you don't realize they're there.
As long as you don't know. Turns out
right
the mission that he was on didn't get off to a very great start there when the cosmonauts who dropped him off did a flyby to take a picture of Mir because, I mean, you do that in space with orbits and gravity and fuel consumption and payloads and micro orbits and death being imminent every second. But anyway, when they did the flyby of the Mir to take a photo of their cosmonaut comrade there, they grazed the space station with their craft. Luckily, no major damage. No, well, right, no orbital shifting, no major flaming death of all involved. None of that, like you see in the movies. That's just for the movies. Zach, come on, man. This is real science I'm talking about here.
Similar to the way the Titanic grazed the glacier?
Grazed the glacier, yeah. Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Oh, March 22nd, 1935. Primitive low-definition TV shown in Berlin for the first time.
The big one. Tested out one of their greatest weapons on this day.
Yep. And here we are speaking about the Hummer again. There's a phone. I don't. Anyway.
Boop,
I always wanted one of those so bad when I was younger.
Me too. Hell, yesterday. I
Didn't-
wanted one really bad
we
yesterday
all-
for what it's worth.
I woke up thinking about it. Anyway.
Not one of those stupid ones you buy on, like you saw on TV. I'm talking about actual Hummers now. Joking aside, the H2 and all that, I thought those were just dumb looking big SUVs. But a real Hummer, my old boss actually had one. Paid like 90 grand for it. They just took off all the, it didn't have any military mounts on it or anything. But it had a smokestack. You can go in like 6 feet of water and just go through that shit. It had doors that came off. It had a button he'd push it deflate the tires a little bit for certain conditions. I mean, those things were built to go anywhere. I wanted one so bad. Then my uncle got that Ranger. Those little, it looks like a four-wheeler almost, but it's got a steering wheel and a cab. Like a small, little tiny thing. But man, we were running over all kinds of trees and everything with that thing. Like, those things were awesome. So that was my Hummer, was that little Ranger.
The one you got from your boss. Sorry.
Shut up.
Alan Holman there, the Alan Holman, line producer extraordinaire there in chat, does bring up an interesting point and does point out a couple of things. Number one, he points out how sleepy and not awake I am, because I didn't realize this. And he points out that, I'm not paying attention. Why did we determine that the weekend was the new year? I thought it was April 1st. We did all that whole
spring equinox. I figured once the spring equinox hits, and then the spring hits, and then the spring starts was when the new year goes on. But because it kind of floats, it's like a week-long celebration, right? It's not like one specific day, right? It's not like 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year. It's not that stupid kind of shit. What are we, some December fools around here? Fuck no. It's like a week long. It's eases in, so it's. Starts at the spring equinox and fuck it. Celebrate whenever the hell you want.
I'm there with you, man. Hell, don't fuss at me. Shit. Sorry.
Now you know.
Well, there you go, Alan. I got you an answer, sir.
That's what it is.
322.
See, I pay attention to chat. Sorry, go ahead, sir.
Did you see the Webb telescope image?
Weboscope? No.
Yeah, it took its first image.
Guess who's live on Rockfin? It only took like 10 minutes for it to pull up my go live button this morning.
What?
But at least it came up this time. Finally.
So you should set it for 10 minutes earlier.
Which is funny. I almost considered doing it. When you said there's like 58, I'm like, well, probably not a bad idea just to go live now. That way, by the time the fucking feed starts, I'll be able to just kick it and it'll be right there at the right time. And I started looking. Then I realized I didn't have my soundboard up. Then I pulled my soundboard up. Then it's like a race. It's like a photo finish race. What's going to finish first? The loading of my soundboard or the intro music from TFR? So if you may have noticed just a slight little hesitation this morning, it's because my soundboard lost the race.
There you go. Well, shout out, Tommy. I see you there in that chat, sir. You may not be there now, but I see your message. And shout out for the early morning sunglasses. Much needed this morning. I saw some discussion from Daz there about sun gazing. Speaking of sunglasses and need, lack thereof. Good Lord, I need coffee. I can't even talk.
Man, I was sun gazing the other morning while I was watching Melodome. It was Saturday. Might have been Sunday. It was Saturday. But I'm standing out there sun gazing, and I realized that when I take my hands and put them up over my head and spread my fingers out, it changed, because I had my eyes closed. It was probably like 10 or 11. It was too late to stare at the sun. It was way too bright for me. But I had my eyes closed, and I was just letting that light, that big bright orange light, just like warm up my eyes. And I noticed that when I'd stick my hands up over my head and extend my fingers, that light would change colors. Not a different color of orange, but different shade of orange. It would get much brighter. And then I would lower my hands down, and that darker orange would come back in. And then I'd lift my hands up again, and that brighter orange would come back out. It was crazy. Someone else has to try this. So I know I'm not crazy. But yeah, It was weird. It was really weird. Like I was changing the amount of energy I was gathering, like an antenna by spreading out the antenna and pointing in all different directions. And yeah, just gathering more electricity out of the atmosphere, especially with my fingers all spread out. Now I have a bunch of points sticking out. I don't know. Yeah, someone else has to try this because it did it over and over and over. It wasn't just a one-time thing. Every time I did it, it would do it. Just something I noticed while sun gazing.
Well, I know when you learn or when you're working on learning how to look at people's auras, like visually see them with your naked eyes, not using equipment or photography or anything like that. There is like this experience. In fact, it happens a lot when you're doing out of body work, not necessarily astral work, but more out of body work, where there's this, it's almost like this ephemeral goo that's kind of electrostatic, kind of like a coating. It moves around us. It's not necessary. It's almost gray, and it's almost like and then as we come into each other's energy field, it goes from one person to another, and it's kind of like a connector, and that's where the energy exchange happens. That's why we shake hands. That's why we hug. That's why we do the things we do to get close to each other, so that energy field can interact with each other. And when you start playing with it with your intent, with your will, you can affect things. You can affect somebody's feelings, their health, you can learn things about them. You can transfer your information through that connection. There's a word for it in the Castaneda, Carlos Castaneda books, but assemblage points. Finally found it. Good Lord, that was deep. So that idea of the energy field and being able to manipulate it with your, not just your body, but your intent, that definitely is something that's been repeated and that I played with a bit back in the day. I haven't done it in some years, but yeah, that's interesting. Time to play, it sounds like.
So Brian there in chat, BCB asked, what did you want someone else to try, Zach? Like, try if you ever go sun gazing, while you're doing it, lift your arms up. Now you need to be grounded too, barefoot. But go ahead and lift your arms up over your head and spread your fingers out. Like, spread your arms out as tall and wide as you can. Kind of like the Pearl Jam Alive guy, if you know what I'm talking about.
Right. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah,
example.
Spread it out and see if that light that's coming through your eyes from the sun changes in any way. It did for me when I was out there.
And see,
playing.
even again, when you said that this time again, it brought to mind that idea of the Doctor Who hand gesture, which were not really gestures to me as a kid. They were shapes that he was holding because, it's a comic book. It's not moving, so he's holding these bizarre hand positions. So I'm mimicking them and putting will and intent into them, and they become powerful. So that idea again of hand shape affecting energy fields.
I swear I was under the mind control real bad at one time. I remember I used to play World of Warcraft. And while I was sitting there playing with my mouse, while I was waiting for things to load or waiting for something, I would constantly draw pentagrams, stars. And then I would do upside with my mouse, not even really realizing it. And then I do upside down ones and then right side up ones, just over and over and over again, constantly. It was like, like you can do with coins in your fingers or flipping a pen. It was one of those things I did, like a thing in the back of my mind. But it was always like a star. I would always sit there and make a star with my mouse. And my buddy noticed one day, he's like, dude, what are you doing? And I didn't even realize I was doing any of it. Yeah, once I realized I was doing it, I quit. I made myself quit. Every time I caught myself doing it, I'd stop. But yeah, I'd just sit there and draw pentagrams all the time on the computer screen. Oh. Weird little ticks that we pick up. You ever had anything like that? A tick that you never really realized you did until someone pointed it out?
I don't think so.
I'm trying to think.
And mine was drawing stars with the mouse cursor. Never even realized I was doing it. We are just
Sorry,
about
I got
folks.
sidetracked because I'm in chat trying to help out some people with info about iodine. Real quick, not a doctor, nor do I play one on TFR, but definitely something I personally have had experience with, which is Lugel's iodine, which has a different, it has a different amount of the iodine in it,
and that comes from deep down in the surface too. It's like a totally different.
It got rid of surface things on my skin for sure. Oh, wow, you're right, Zach. I'll shut up and we'll have a commercial, and then I'll drop a link to some for you guys in chat when I find one.
And I think I'm sort of on track now. Sort of back in the groove, back on time. Anyway, this is the Ironworx on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Stick around. We got more to come right after this. Second half of the first half coming up.
Leaders must be good students of ability, their ability, and the people that are in their charge, their influence, their ability. Sometimes it's easy to have somebody right close to you and you've never discovered all of their talent and their potential. I discovered a young man in Canada, Harold Dyke, many years ago. He worked for the railroad, making about $300 a month. But I discovered him. He became a good friend of mine, and I recruited him. The second year he was with me, he made $45,000. And now he's a leader in the community, and he's gifted and skillful, and he's financially independent, and he's a unique gentleman. Now, the railroad had him for 10 years, and they didn't know who they had. They didn't have this in-depth survey of trying to find the people that are right close around who may have some unusual gifts and capacities that nobody has yet discovered. So leaders must be students of ability and find ways to uncover somebody's unusual ability that may have been there for a while. And you've just got to find a way to uncover all of that. Part of the key to leadership.
Extendivite, a 7-herb combination made from garlic, cayenne, hawthorn, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, valerian, and milk thistle. Extendivite feeds our body with the right nutrients to keep us healthy. Just listen to what Arthur has to say.
I was just calling to tell you what a great product you have. I had used this about, 10 years ago after I had congestive heart failure. And it fixed me up and got me going for the last 10 years. Lately, I've been having heart trouble again. So I placed another order because this was the only thing that ever worked. I just wanted to let you know that you have a great product.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
We exist in the security and comfort of our worlds. Paved paths, lights, and manicured lawns give us peace of mind that our world has been tamed, and we are its master. But other worlds exist on the edge of our sight. On the edge of our awareness, the shadows move. The woods fill with the unblinking eyes of the nightmares our ancestors warned us about. Some of us have stumbled into these forgotten realms, whether on purpose or completely by surprise. I'm Brent Thomas. Join us on the Paranormal Portal Friday and Saturday nights from 10 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time as we journey into the world of the paranormal phenomena.
Enter the paranormal portal if you dare. Real people, real radio. Wherever you are, make it TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Jesus. Not even the one I wanted.
Start your day off bright and shiny. Get up off your little hiney and begin your happy day.
Well, pitter patter, let's get at her.
That's quickly become one of my favorites, Josh. I'm glad you found that. I quickly tell other people that. Pitter patter. Let's get at her. Welcome back, everybody. It's Ironworx. You're on the right place. Real quick, kind of to finish up the little discussion we were having about the Lugel's iodine. Yeah, it definitely is the crystal. It's mined from crystals. It doesn't come from like shellfish or was it seaweed, kelp, something else they get it from. Kelp.
That's more
and then as far as its edibility, so there's that whole thing again. Oh, don't use it. Don't take it if you're putting it on your skin. All that. So if you're putting it on your skin, you're taking it. You're getting it. Your skin is the biggest organ. So if you're putting something on your skin, it's getting in your system. Just throwing that out there. The other thing is just like borax, that is a laundry booster. I hope you heard those air quotes. It's quite useful internally. Now, again, I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on TFR, nor don't take my advice on anything. These are my personal experiences and the anecdotes thereof. So I've done all of the above. I'm still here. Now, whether it affected me mentally, that's up to you, I suppose, to judge.
Yeah, I used to take iodine every day. Drop. Little shot glass, some cold water, and the tinctures that I made.
Uh-huh. And, I saw a guy in one of the comments, again, this is strictly commentary, speaking about, in his review, about using this to grow his hair back. Again, anecdotal. I'm not a hairologist. I don't.
It worked for me.
But it worked. Yep, it works for a guy I know. So just do your research. I was trying to find a link for you guys, and at one of the more popular shopping sites where things tend to be a bit cheaper, I can't get a link that's under 500 characters. So just do some research. You'll find a reputable one. And when you do, here's something I always like to do. I'll go read reviews because you'll see 3 or 5 or 8 that'll tell you something that, the general, it's great ones don't. And that's the ones I kind of pay attention to, especially when I'm doing supplements. If you see something like, oh, I got a handful of red vitamins and there were 3 white ones in there, you probably don't want to shop with those people anymore or even ever. So same thing here. Check your ratings, check your questions, check your reviews, see what people say about it. Talk to others who've tried it, that kind of thing. But yeah, I wish I could remember which one of these I had. So far, none of these bottles are ringing a bell because this was probably, oh man, it's been a minute. Probably during the John Brahma era.
Yeah,
So
I went to a
give you a time
local
frame.
natural health food store. I had people that I
Yep.
trusted called
Yep.
back. You walk
Great
in and
idea.
it smells kind of funky, and there's a bunch of glass jars behind the counter with all kinds of weird powders in them. And yeah, find one of those places.
Right, that's the place, man. They probably have a mogwai, and you
Yeah,
want one.
exactly. Yeah.
Modern day apothecaries.
So this one's from CNN. This is funny, folks. I wasn't even really planning. This is, we find probably 30 articles a week that we drop into our
Yes,
pile.
we do.
And we only cover maybe a third of them, And this one was one of those, we've covered it before, but for some reason, it told me to throw it in there. And then I got my confirmation when I woke up today and was looking through more articles. I was like, well, this is perfect. So here we go. This is from CNN. There are more than 5,000 worlds beyond our solar system, NASA confirms. So they're talking
Finally
about exoplanets. Yes, finally confirmed. There are now more than 5,000 planets beyond our solar system. The latest edition of 65 exoplanets to NASA Exoplanet Archive contributed to the scientific milestone marked on Monday. So they just reached 5,000. It's the home to exoplanet discoveries from peer-reviewed scientific papers that have been confirmed using multiple methods of detecting its planets. But they don't want to tell you those methods. They just tell you it comes from 3 different types of telescopes, blah, 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 blah. There's no different methods. They're looking up at lights and they see a little flitter and, oh, there's a planet. That's it. They're acting like they have all these methods of detecting these planets. No, bullshit. Calling you. So it goes on in here about all the brand new planets they're finding and why I got into this field, because there's so many new planets to discover and blah, 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 blah. And the article goes on. And I'm not even going to read into that one anymore. Now we're going to go to the next article I found, which was published 3 days ago. So 2 days before this article. It's called, and this is from space.com, Mistaken Identity. Researchers discover stars masquerading as exoplanets. So all these exoplanets they're finding out there, and we're using all this new methods and blah, blah, blah. Oh, we're finding out that, yeah, they're just stars too. So the identity of 3, possibly 4 stars have been brought into question as researchers reevaluate the object's size, revealing they are far too big to be exoplanets. So there you go. We have 2 different groups, both working for NASA, arguing about what these things are up there. The exoplanet specialists are saying they're exoplanets, but whoever, blah, 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 says that they're just stars. So they don't even agree on their own bullshit. This is what happens when you lie. When
So, if you don't mind, may I? I did a little research here live because how we love it, and it turns out there are 5 ways that NASA has on their exoplanets.nasa.gov/alien/world/ways of finding a planet. I'm being silly, but that's basically you got to have alien in there. So. Turns out there's 5 they have here. Now, radial velocity is the first one they have listed. And what they do there, they are, man, you got to see this. Oh, can I share? I know it's radio, but oh, it's epic. Oh, it's epic. I thought we were just going to read, and look what I get.
You gotta at least give them a little bit of
I'm going to
what
tell
are you
you.
looking at?
I'm looking at an image, an animation of a big old ball of flames and another little ball going around it, and there's a little wavy green line on the screen, and it looks really cute and cartoony and kitty. Oh, it moved! It moved. Oh, so this lets us know how that happens. An orbiting planet causes stars to wobble in space, changing the color of the light astronomers observe. So that's one way. Ha ha! Let's move on. They've discovered 915 planets this way. The transit method is the one I think you're speaking about. That is where they're searching for shadows. When a planet passes directly between its star and an observer, it dims the star's light by a measurable amount. That way we've discovered 3,845 planets. Thank you very much.
I'm just curious, sort of off topic, sort of. What's an immeasurable amount? And how do you know?
Well, see, you have to know math and science.
Well,
for
okay.
those type
Let's
numbers.
say you
It's
do
like
know
a
math.
Nonsensical number. Wait, no, that's not that. Illogical. No, there's a word for irrational. There it is. There's also direct imaging, which is a way they do it of taking pictures.
Oh my goodness! And most of these are within 3,000 light years away.
So what you do is you see a star way out there, and you put your thumb. Watch, you put your thumb right over it, and boom, the star pops up. It's like magic. We've discovered 58 planets that way because it takes a lot of thumbs to do it that way, and NASA's only got so many thumbs up there. I mean, yeah. Then there's gravitational micro lensing.
Oh yeah.
Which is the prettiest one yet. I call it bed sheets in space. I'm sorry. I wish you could see what I'm laughing at. If you're on our YouTube channel, you can, I hope. Anyway, I can't even believe what I just watched happen. So here's what I saw happen. So as you throw a big shiny light in the middle of the blanket, it makes a big hole in the blanket. And then if you roll two marbles, or maybe a marble and a golf ball, across that blanket way over here, the pattern of the blanket alters and shifts in such a way that you can tell that there was another blanket over there. I mean, another marble over there. Is that what you guys saw? Because that's what I saw. And essentially, that's what they're doing. Light from a distant star is bent and focused by gravity as a planet passes between the star and Earth. Anybody? How many have we found? 129 planets discovered, rolling marbles across the bed sheet. And last, but certainly, well, I was going to say not least, but I guess this would be least, because using astronomy, they've only discovered one planet. So last and least, astronomy. The orbit of a planet can cause a star to wobble around in space in relation to nearby stars in the sky. This is your 50 billion a day or trillion or gazillion or whatever it is that you're paying for. This little animation that you just didn't see if you're on the radio. Oh my goodness.
So yeah,
I'll drop that to anybody.
They're just
who wants me
making
to
shit
watch
up, folks.
Enjoy
To just put it bluntly, they're just making shit up. But they say 3,800 of them were discovered using the shadow method.
Searching for shadows, baby. I'm gonna drop the links for anybody who wants to share that with a space-loving friend and say, okay, this is
Out of
what they're doing.
5,000, 3,800 were. Oh, did you see that star twinkle? It's got a planet. Oh, I saw a twinkle again. There's another planet.
Yeah, that seems far more reliable than like observation and empirical evidence. I mean, observation and empirical evidence only turns up one. But if you can make shit up real good, you find hundreds of them. It's amazing.
4,999 that we never saw, but we found them. And then there's one that we saw. And you know what? I'd like to see the picture of that. What are they talking about? I'm calling bullshit. They can't even get a picture of Pluto from Hubble. But yet they're telling us that they get pictures of a planet outside of our solar system? No, I'm still calling shenanigans. I don't even think they have a picture of that planet they're talking about. Nope, I'm not believing it.
Do better,
I've
NASA.
seen 5 planets with my own eyes. I've seen Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Those are the 5 I've seen. I've never seen Neptune. I've never seen Uranus. Not with my own eyes, at least. But I've seen 5 of them. I don't know if Neptune or Uranus, they say they're out there, but, you know, I've never seen them with my eyes. I don't know. I tend to believe those 2 just because there's so many astronomers out there and blah, 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 they say. But still, I know it's a belief. Until I see it, then I'll know. That's how I like, you know, to go by. Yeah, I'm not just gonna, oh, there's a twinkle. I saw another planet. I saw 3,800 planets by twinkling stars.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
shout out Andrew B over there in the Rock Pen chat. Dropped you a link as well. Sorry, I just noticed someone else there with me and you and Zach.
Yeah, Alan, when I watched Saturn through a telescope, it did look really fake. It did. Not saying it's fake, but yeah, it just looks like another light, really.
I think, you know, we all discussed it a little bit, but, you know, my experience over years of telescopes was always very, you know, never had the money for the big 8-9 inch ones, but, you know, 5 inches I was able to do. Man, it sounds
That's
like
what she said last night.
I know, I was waiting. So it was a lot of wobbly, trying to get something in place. You know, you have to get up a little bit more money to where you get into some of the hydraulic mounted, very stabilized, blah, 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 blah. And then suddenly, oh, well, we can just put it up on this screen and that saves a lot of time and effort. You know, that's when you start seeing the perfect images and et cetera. In fact, the only time that I looked through an actual eyepiece and saw Jupiter was in the middle of daytime on the streets of New Orleans. The guy had a big, like, it looked like a good 12-inch, you know, nice, huge, big telescope set up, roped off, give him a couple bucks, and he'd let you look through it. And I just, you know, couldn't resist. I'm like, there's no way you're seeing anything in the daytime with this telescope, dude. Come on. And so I looked through it, and sure enough, there it was. And I'm like, that's not real. That's a picture you got taped on the end of this thing. I mean, it was just so fake looking at what I was looking at. Other than that, it's always been, like I said, wobbly, hard
I've
to see.
never seen the stripes of Jupiter, but I have seen the moons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that with my binoculars.
Yeah.
I definitely can.
I had this one picture of Jupiter and its moons, and I wasn't using my tripod. So it was, you know, I was zoomed all the way in. And because it was moving, I got these crazy, it looked like an angel. You know those angels made out of like those real thin pieces of wood, and it looks like a loop coming down and then 2 loops going out to make the arms?
Uh-huh.
It looked just like that with all these dots around it because, like, when I clicked it, that my hand made those loops. And it, like, took almost multiple pictures of all the stuff. So there was, like, instead of 4 moons up there, there was 16 moons. And there's a dot in the middle, Jupiter in the middle, Jupiter at each of the arms stretched out, and then the legs. It's crazy. It looks like an angel floating in the sky. But it was just a picture of Jupiter that I was moving around so fast that I couldn't. I don't know if I have that picture in here. I think it's on my pewter. Yeah. Yeah, I love taking pictures of the sky. Mercury looks wild, folks. It looks like a red burning ball. It really does. I can see why they thought it was on fire. It looks like it is. I've only seen it once. It's visible like I think about 2, maybe 3 weeks out of the year. And it's always right by dawn, maybe dusk as well, but I think the dusk one you can't see as well. The dawn one is when I saw it. But it's only like a week here and a week there. You can see it, but it does exist. I have seen it with my own eyes.
So wait, now it's between us and the sun. No, just silly. We've discussed all that before. And you're seeing it at night. No, I'll stop. Is it time for break?
Yes, I'm the great pretender. Pretending I'm doing well.
Shout out to Mercury, by the way.
Right. Sorry, I was throwing a little Roy Clark version in there. Anyway.
So 5 inches get you.
So did you see that they think they might have figured out dark matter now?
Again?
Yeah. Scientists say there might be an anti-universe running backwards in time from the Big Bang. So we're going forward in time. But there's an anti-universe that's doing the exact opposite, and time runs backwards. We're not going to get too deep into this. I mean, this says it all right here.
We all got some time crystals, and we all went back in time to go see those people. Would they be? I'll stop. I'm just, yeah.
A wild new theory. Okay, aren't theories supposed to have some kind of backing to them? First, you come up with a hypothesis, and it's like, this, I think it might be this because of this. So what made them think this? The paper proposes that the application of fundamental symmetry, which is preserved by physical interactions in nature, be extended to the whole universe itself. This mirror image universe could explain dark matter. Could, exactly. The CPT theory posits that that charge, parity, and time are symmetrical. And if you flip these in any physical interaction, it will behave exactly the same. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The existence of a reverse universe should balance out our own universe in preserving the symmetry. The scientific paper was recently accepted for publication in the journal Annals of Physics.
Right in their anals.
Right in their anals. And again, it's a wild new theory. Oh my goodness. It assumes that early universe was tiny and in a hot, dense state. And it would have been so uniform that time looked symmetrical, going both forward and backward. This is
kind of like a time smear.
Ridiculous. Yes.
I think I saw this on a Star Trek way back. I think that was the one when Spock had the beard. Or wait, was that the one where the plant flew?
That's one where they freed Willie.
Wheat Puffs. You're right, Free Willy. That was the one.
That was the movie. It was the movie where they freed Willie. I forget.
Right.
So this is their reasoning for this. Most physical interactions obey most of these symmetries. And a violation of a combination of all three has never been observed. Yeah, in nature. Not in Narnia, but in nature. Their new recently accepted paper for publication in the journal, oh my goodness, proposes to extend the application of symmetry from physical interactions to the whole universe itself. Since all physical interactions preserve the symmetry, the existence of a reverse universe has all the opposite charges, is flipped in the mirror, and runs backwards in time, should balance out our own universe. Oh my goodness. So there's an opposite you running around out there. If you're positively charged, there's a negative you running around in this universe. But is it moving backwards? Like, does it walk backwards? Like if I...
So when you...
It walks forward, reversed in time.
Okay, so I open my mitt and the ball flies out right into your hand, right?
Yes.
Right.
Because the physics
so
would
over
work
there, all the satanic lyrics go forward.
Wow. So
see, there you go. Now
eat Ben and Jerry's.
You got to be super careful. You might hurt your alter self. Your not contrast. What is that?
Just to clear up a little confusion there in chat, Amanda, we see that the bell has maybe caused a bit of confusion. That is a feature here at the Ironworks that we instituted some time ago. Anytime there was an if or a maybe or a possibly or anything that shows that these are all just the most made up theoretical nonsense that possibly could exist, Josh gets out the old bell there and lets us know anytime a good word of that nature passes by. And it could be causing some audio issues too. Sorry about that if that is the case, but glad you're enjoying it. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
I knew somebody would have to sing it.
You don't know if you're part of the show.
That is not really a break already. We're having way too much fun for that crap.
For sure. That's it. That's the end of the first hour. The whole first half of the Ironworks in the books, in the can, on the books. How about in the books, on the can? No, that's not right either.
Hi.
We'll be back.
My name is Ella, and I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
The county has refused to produce the network routers. We want the routers, Sonny. The county refused to produce the network routers. Wendy, we gotta get those routers, please. Get up! Routers. Come on, Kelly, we can get those routers. Those routers. Wow! If you got those routers, what that will show. And they don't want to give up the routers. They are fighting like hell. Why are these commissioners fighting not to give the routers? How simple could it be? That will tell the truth. And they don't want to give up the routers. What are they trying to hide? And I say it, and I'll say it, because the easiest way of cheating is to throw them away. That's easier. The county has refused to produce the network routers. We want the routers, Sonny. The county refused to produce the network routers. Wendy, we gotta get those routers, please. Get up! It's so unfair. It's so unfair. It's so ridiculous. I'll be honest, though. Look, we all like to win. If I lost this election, I could handle it pretty easily. What? 1 in 24, sir. You're gonna win. And I say, wait a minute. I just won 6 months ago. The big lie, they call it. Those things are unproven. And knowing what happened in the election is a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing. The county has refused to produce the network routers. We want the routers, Sonny. The county refused to produce the network routers. Wendy, we gotta get those routers, please. Get up! If you think about cancel, everything about cancel culture, they want cancel culture. But what they don't want to do is anything having to do with the 2020 election. We have no press. We have no voice. They almost got away with it. They may have gotten away with it. And I've got to tell you, I've got to say this. I've never said it before, but I've always thought it. I get along with Putin because that's a good thing, not a bad thing. The county has refused to produce the network routers.
Into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up! Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Ironworm Media is the best on the planet. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
All right, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
And welcome back to the first half of the second half of the Ironworx. Kicking off right now. Man, that last break snuck up on me. Was not expecting it.
No, it's been flying today. That first one crept up on me, too. Coffee's hot. Okay, what was this other one?
Is anyone else hearing a little weird,
yes,
like under echoey thing that's like strangely garbled? And okay, just wondering if it was me. So
Not hearing it.
It's our intro music.
Well, that's what it sounds like. Is our music. So where the hell's it at, and why is it playing?
My Rockman is muted. I don't know.
Do you still hear it?
Every time I talk, it's like a second of something afterward. At first, I thought it was an echo of my own voice, but I'm hearing it after you guys too.
I heard it when I was dinging the bell, And I had to even check the waveform to see if there was something in the background of that sound file that I was hearing.
Yeah, it's there somewhere in your system, dude. Somewhere you got it playing. It has to be. There's no other explanation. Sorry, guys. A little bit of technical difficulties, but it's become like bothersome to the point that it's always playing.
It's not
So-
music.
That is weird. I don't. You know me. I'm not the computer guy. I'm glad that you guys can hear me, and then I'm happy. Yeah.
See, then it almost sounded like a metallic noise, like a fan or something else in the background.
I wanted to give a big shout out to everybody out there who reached out to PTSD Joe on our show
Thank
Friday.
y'all so much. That was great Friday. That was epic.
I had a nice long chat with him Saturday. Talked to him last night for a little bit. He's looking for some help about it's computer stuff, just making zip files and stuff like that. I have no idea how to do any of that stuff. But I told him that I'd put an ear to the ground and see if I could find him some help. I thought he was going to be here in chat, but I know it's really early out there in California. What is it, like 3 o'clock right now?
Yep.
3:05. So we'll see if he pops into chat. Maybe if he does, maybe one of you guys could get together with him and just help him figure out some of this computer stuff. Because that's just not my area of expertise.
All right.
Mine neither. In fact, I don't think there's many folks here on this.
Nope, it's still there. I thought it might have been the studio.
Still there, dude. I don't know what that is. That's really nuts.
It is. I had a bunch of windows open for all the space lettuce.
And I double checked me to make sure I don't have something going, but I wouldn't hear it. I don't know, guys. Sorry. Are you guys in chat hearing it?
Yeah, I'm not hearing it.
Forever Love saying it sounds good to me. Anyway, yeah, guys, Friday show, great. Thank you, all of you who helped us make it such a great show in every kind of way. Real quick, an extra big, and I hope you feel it, lady, hug coming your way, Liz. I know you're going through some rough stuff right now, and we'll see now. Ian says he does hear it. Sorry, Liz, I hated to interrupt you with that, but Ian's hearing it too. So don't know. I may reset here in just a second.
She hears a weird sound as well.
Yeah, I'm seeing everybody in chat, so they hear it now. It's tied to my talking and Josh's talking. When I talk, it happens, and see, they all think it sounds like our intro music too. I don't know what the hell it is. I'm so sorry. Anyway, back to you, Liz. Hug, lady. Look, there's nothing tougher, and at least for me in my life, than losing your mother. I went through it. You guys are well aware of it. I went through it with you guys, going into it while I was there, especially the guys on this show with me helped me through it in immensely amazing ways. I don't know how I would have done it without this family. And having it, during this crazy time that a lot of people are still stuck in, definitely adds more crap to it. Be glad you were able to be there. That's really to have the time you had and hold on to the good memories and the great times and the love. And the intensity, goes away some. Like, it doesn't literally bring tears to your eyes every day and every time you think of her, but it definitely is something you'll carry with you. It's an impact you won't forget. And you know how to reach out to me and us here on this show. And like I said, we don't spend as much time as we used to there in the Twitter chat. I don't go to Telegram nearly like I do.
I got rid of Twitter.
If you need to speak with me, it's really fresh with me still. In fact, right now, I'm playing with the tips of my fingertips because they're sore, because I'm still working on this song that I set out to make happen in me. it was a song that meant a lot to her, a lot to my family. It's a guitar song. It's got a really emotional brunt to it. And when I feel like I have it under my fingers to the point that it's worth me putting out there as a video, as a testament to my mom and to you guys that are going through these kind of things, and I'll throw that video up there. I may throw it in there, it's for our patrons or something special first, and then I'll put it up for everybody. But yeah, it's definitely I don't know what your hobbies are. I don't know what your, what you do, what you have going on as far as that, but definitely, distraction, putting the energy into a positive place, creating a memory that you can hold on to, make it a memorial. I meant not really a memory, because hold on to the memories. Certainly, I meant more a memorial thing. And definitely, like I said, just reach out to me wherever. And if it takes me a minute to respond, I'm here. So, okay. I see you saying you were thinking of reaching out on Twitter. Well, I will definitely check there at some point later today, and we can get together.
Listen, everyone, the time come when all of us say goodbye. Feel that aching in your heart. So that's going to get us struck right down on YouTube. It's a good thing we're there on Rockfin, though.
Right.
It's pretty, though.
It is very pretty.
Right.
One of those songs that was always real dear and close to my heart. I played it for my little brother when I went on Walkabout. Was Father and Son by Cat Stevens.
Good song. I like Ahmed or whatever his name is.
Yeah, just everything about that song. The guitaring, the way he sings it, it's just amazing. And I played it for my little brother, and he's like, this makes me want to cry. He didn't start crying, but he was just I could tell that he knew what I was saying to him. And yeah, music can do that. Music, there's things you just can't seem to get all the words out. You can't say it just right. And you find this song and it does it for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Almost
There's
like it was meant for that moment right there. Sorry, Walt.
No. I stepped on you, man. I'm sorry. Sorry, I knew my music was about to start playing. There's a song that I play quite often. And again, it's for me, and some people won't feel that it's whatever, but there's a song that Mark Tremonti wrote for the passing of his mother. Actually, it was on his first album. Or I'm sorry, not his. Alter Bridges, first album. I'll drop it there in chat. It's called In Loving Memory, and it's really a touching, beautiful tribute to his mom. And I think I even have somewhere here, if I dig it up, a live video where the audience sings along. It's quite emotional. That's not the one I'm working on, though. It's a whole different thing. I'll surprise y'all soon. It's getting there. I'm on the last probably 10 measures, and it's just destroying my fingers. Anyway, give me a minute.
I know sitting on the dock of the bay always gets me. I always fight back tears when I'm singing that song. Even when I'm not drunk. That's one of those songs. I'm usually alone, of course, when I'm singing it. But when I really get into music, I almost have to fight back that crying voice sometimes. That's one of those songs. What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. That song makes me tear up every time. Yeah, there's just songs out there that I love music. Music, it can grab your soul and just wring tears out. Yeah, whenever I know, because crying's good. Crying is clearing out ducts and all kinds of stuff like that. If you haven't cried in years, then you need to.
Quack, quack.
But yeah, there's so many songs out there that I'll put on when I feel that I need to cry. You know,
See, tears are so, man, they're so special. They're not just sadness. They're not just joy. There's to me, there's a realm of, I think that's why they have that whole tear collecting thing, the bottles, that whole deal. Yeah, tears. There's something about them. Cleansing for sure, but I don't know. They come at some strange times for me, I guess. Maybe I'm just a fucking freak. Who knows?
True.
I know when I'm sharing like a something important with someone, like a book or a song. Oh my God, a song will do it every time. Or even like something like a behind the scenes of a movie, like an epic shot they did, something creative. I guess that's what it is. When I'm feeling something creative with someone else and I can feel that they're getting it, it's not just glossing over them, but they feel it happening like I do. And that, I mean, inevitably brings tears to my eyes. So again, I don't know. Cleaning out, cleansing, that thing is definitely part of it. But I think there's just a whole lot more going on with that. And definitely holding it back. My God, what kind of strength does that take? And then the damage it does to your internal stuff.
It hurts sometimes.
Me too. I can't even do it hardly.
Oh, Pearl Jam Release. When I hear that song. Oh man, I've been just sitting here thinking of all these different songs, and every time I think of one, I get these chills running up and down my spine. Now, what is that? How do you measure that? You can't say that this is just numbers and molecule and atoms and this and that. How is it I think of something and it makes my body tingle just by thinking of some lyrics in a song? That's more than just chemical reactions taking place. This place is just I love this place, everybody. I know I say it all the time, but it's just there's so much magic left. And what I'm saying is so much to learn and so much to try to explain and to comprehend of what's really going on here. And I'm sure we'd be much more further along if we weren't brainwashed, the first however many years of your life, and still constantly being brainwashed every second of the day that they can get to you. We could be, I don't know. This place is so great and it's getting better all the time. It really is. I mean, it's all in the eye of the beholder, but just look around. Look at, our community here, this truther community. And then there's the First Amendment auditing truther community. And there's all these communities popping up of all these people that aren't doing it for money or fame or any of that. They're doing it because they want to see a change. And they're tired of sitting on their asses doing nothing. That's why I started. You realize this isn't going to get better until that person in the mirror does something about it. There's another one of those songs, Man in the Mirror. Makes me cry every time.
Sorry.
But yeah, this place is what you make it, folks. That's the simplest I can say it. We can all see the same thing, but look at it from totally different points of view. And it could be different for all of us. It's all about what you make it. All right, Zach, rant over.
It was full of love. So definitely
Rico says, I'm doing it for money and fame. Oh, good stuff. Oh, man.
I dropped that link for you guys in the chats. Both. Well,
so what's
now
your
that I've hit
song,
enter.
Josh? First one that comes to your head that really gets you.
There's several, because I'm that emotional bitch that is just, that way. We were talking parenting songs, and there's a few good country songs out there. I think Randy Travis. Crap, I can't remember, because they start to conflate in my head. But the first one that just pops into my head was "That's My Job." I don't think that's the Randy Travis one though. I'll have to dig it up. But there really is many of them. But there's also
there's
a lot
quite
of
a few.
What are those words I'm looking for? All those. Jesus Christ. I spent a lot of time getting drunk to country music and to Irish music. And being drunk and emotional while listening to the music sets those neural pathways. And then just going back and listening to those same country music or Irish music makes me a little emotional regardless. And then you add in the fact that was so long ago, and the time and the place, and you get some nostalgia mixed in with all those neural pathway ruts that I've dug. But yeah, it's a lot of mainly depressing country music. Makes me want to cry for the most part.
It's almost like those smells, when you smell something.
Oh man, there's
and it
nothing
takes
like
you
a
way
smell
back.
to trigger a memory. Yep.
Yeah, those noises, those lyrics played in that certain way.
I'm sorry I laughed. I was just thinking when you were talking about the country songs, Teddy Bear was going through my head, and Martin Haley there, and Martin Haley in chat. You guys ever heard a trucker song, break or something? I can't remember the full name, but it's a real sad song. I'm guessing that would probably be
Teddy Bear.
Or
it could be Giddy Up Go. Giddy Up Go was a pretty good
It
one.
could be Giddy Up Go. It could be. But yeah, a lot of those songs definitely were written by people who were in a dark, deep place that brings out some painful shit.
Ian.
You can tell some definite broken songwriters who had some different lives.
I'm gonna be
Cats in the Cradle.
Yep.
That was a great one.
Yep.
Hell, Taxi. And
anything, but what are you playing? I hear it.
I was on the outskirts of a little southern town.
Yep.
Trying to reach my destination before the sun went down. The old CB was blaring away on channel 19 when there came a little boy's voice on the radio line. And he said, "Breaker 19, is anyone there? Come on back, truckers, and talk to Teddy Bear."
Oh, Teddy Bear.
Yeah, see, that's another one I'm just going to have to say, okay, guys, if you like it, that's Red Sovine, because if I do listen to too much of that song, I will.
Yeah, I'm going to get all choked up and not be able to deal with it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's one of those, you just don't break out very often just for that reason.
There's one, I think it's on his self-titled album, Bob Dylan, when he was just like 16 years old. I think it's called Bob Dylan's Dream. And it's all about how he would give up his, all his fame and fortune to go back and hang out with his childhood friends just once more. And to feel that same way. Like you had your group when you were young and you guys thought you'd be together forever and you were going to take on the world and, lived in the moment. He's riding a train, sitting there reminiscing about all this. And he's like, at the end, he's like, I get paid 10 grand to tip my hat and I'd trade it all gladly if our lives could just be like that, and just one more day of that, giving it all up. Yeah, music is powerful. It really is.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. I see a couple of people there in chat talking about bagpipes. Man, the college I went to was like a tartan college, whatever that means, I guess. I really never understood how this little college in the middle of Mississippi, was based in some kind of Irish way or whatever. But yeah, we had a lake. There were actually a couple of loons that would make that wonderful loon cry across the lake. And then we had a piper, and he would play for different events. And he was like into it. Oh, was he into it? And he was into like he was a dude that was different. He was in the choir, he was in the art department. He and I got to be kind of like, say, secondary friends. You know, we didn't hang out all the time, but we hung out a lot. And he definitely had some different connections to stuff. And when he would get out there on that lake and practice his own thing, you know, not playing the music from the school, but just getting into it, I'm tearing up almost thinking about it now. Yeah, definitely. Get deep into your soul. But I'm that way about guitar music. To me, a guitar solo can do that. You know, in fact, that's kind of what I'm working on is a guitar song that just rips my soul apart. So anyway, wow, we have almost torn up another break here.
We sure have.
Yeah, coming real close.
Shout out to Forever Love 774. Have yourself a great day as well.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I see that.
I also wanted to mention before we hit this third and final break, tonight, David Weiss is going to be doing a show over on Intellectual Ketchup's channel.
Nice.
Yeah, the Big Skinny Show. They're going to have 5-time U.S. sumo wrestling champion Kelly Knighting on. And we're going to spend about, 15, 20 minutes talking to Kelly, letting him do his thing, talking about sumo wrestling. Then they're going to bring Dave on to talk a little flat earth. And they're just going to turn the reins over to Dave and let Dave do his thing. So that's going to be real exciting.
Now, is Kelly a flat earther?
I don't think Kelly is a flat earther. That was, at first, that was the impression I got, but then I think it might have just been a confusion on our part.
At least.
I think so. So I'm going to be real curious. Shout out to Jake and to Matt. Everybody head on over there to the Intellectual Ketchup channel. Link is in chat. Haha. There it is. And I'll drop it over there on Rockfin as well.
Nemo.
You guys.
Nemo.
Stick around. Fourth and final segment of the Ironworks coming up right after this. More good stuff coming.
Somebody should tell us right at the start of our lives that we're dying. And we might live life to the limit. Every minute of every day. Whatever you want to do it now. There are only so many tomorrows. I say to you that if you're driven by anything other than your love and your spirit, your desire to grow and expand, if you're driven by your need to please others, if you're driven by your fear, if you're driven by your past, it's time to free yourself. And the way to do it is decide. Decide consciously what you want your life to be about.
Extendivite is more than just a heart tonic. Do you have any of these symptoms? Night cramps in the hands and feet. Your arms and legs often go to sleep. On short walks, do your legs get aches and pains? Is your memory worse than it used to be? Ankles that swell late in the day? Has your blood pressure increased lately? If you answered yes to even one of these questions, you may have early warning signs of arterial blockages. Your body is saying that it is time to take Extendivite. These are not the normal signs of aging. They are the warning signs that accompany blocked arteries. Get your Extendivite today. Extendivite is available in capsule or liquid form for just $69.95 for a 2-month supply. To get started, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite. For 5,000 years, the world was ruled with wooden ships by one man. 242 years ago, a small group of free men crafted a new nation built on liberty and freedom. Global elites have been fighting to destroy this new nation called America ever since. Based on actual events, Charm of Favor tells a true story of how they corrupted the election system. They infiltrated federal agencies and murdered witnesses, judges, and even presidents to keep from being caught. Now, the largest and wealthiest crime syndicate the world has ever known has been drawn out of the shadows. They have killed hundreds of Americans and recently attempted to assassinate half our congressmen. Still, they escape arrest through an almost supernatural charm of favor. Read Charm of Favor and be prepared to open your eyes to what may lie just around the corner. Charm of Favor is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Yes, science!
Now, there's another weird noise I'm hearing, right? I just wanted to say, it sounds like fucking Predator in the background now. I've heard it a few times, too. Sounds kind of almost a weird, juicy noise. I don't know. It's still some weird.
Maybe our handlers turned us over to a new team. I mean, you know,
they need to get their shit together.
Our handlers. I love it. So I saw this one and it cracked me up. Let me I gotta find it again.
I closed out all my space letters. I'm not opening it back up. So you'll just have to take his word for
it. I've actually lost mine as well. I thought I had it open, but apparently I shut it down. What are we talking? What are we doing? I don't know.
So,
did you find it, sir? I'm looking.
We need. I mean, if we were pathetic pieces of shit that didn't want to work and
that's me.
Well, then you need to do a startup for a space endeavor, Josh, because people just throw money at this shit.
Blue Origin is doing a career fair here soon, just not far from where I used to live, out there in St. Charles. Maybe I'll head over there for the career fair, see if I can't get a job with Blue Origin.
Yeah, I mean, you got a pretty good imagination. You know, we've been covering space, lettuce, and all this nonsense for how long? And they pretty much just keep recycling the same shit over, and you got it down, dude. This is right up your alley.
Shout out to Jake real quick. I see we must have woke him up with all of our talking about he and Matt and
no doubt.
Kelly Knighting and David Weiss and their show this evening, 8 p.m. Central. The Big Skinny
awesome.
Intellectual Catch-Up channel. Check it out. Sub. Hit the bell notification. Check it out. It's going to be good.
I'll be there.
It's going to be good. I'm going to do my ever-loving best. 8 o'clock, it's so close to bedtime right there. It's touch and go. It's really touch and go. But I do have my reminder set. So hopefully YouTube actually reminds me.
Yeah, I'll at least say I'll see the first hour.
So, yeah.
Because 9
I'll
o'clock
stay up
is
late. I'm not scared.
Yeah.
I'll
Walt
be there. I just dropped the link
watch
again.
it 3 times. He'll be up late enough to go and watch
just
it
enough
again.
for everybody, right? I'll get it. I'll cover you guys. Drop the link in chat for you too. Wait, I have dropped it in all the chats now.
Look at him go.
Oh, sorry. I just got over to the rock bin, and apparently Andrew B. there was checking out the exoplanet cartoonery. Glad you enjoyed that, man.
Yeah, Josh, you got to come up with a new way to discover exoplanets. And one of the things has to be flipping a coin in there, though. You got to make it like super obvious.
I think it's got to be sort of the same way you triangulate the sun. I think is going to be the best way to find exoplanets, at least from the surface of the Earth. As Earthlings on Earth, for us to find them without all the expensive NASA equipment.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You just reach in your pocket. I got it. You reach in your pocket. You pull out the quarter. Now you hold it up into the starry sky, and you eyeball right along that serrated edge where there's those little bumps, and you just kind of block out stars.
Walter, go.
Think I can't science, bitches? Huh.
I thought it was turn around, you bend over, and you got to look at the stars from between your legs. Or maybe that was just to get the Australians' point of view. Maybe that's what it is. Australian empathy, I think, is what that is. You have to turn around, bend over, and look at the world from between your legs. It's because that's probably what it's like for people in Australia.
And when that happens, it really is in our brains. Because when you try to take a picture of a giant moon or a giant sun on the horizon, it goes right back to being that little tiny dot on your picture. You can't, unless you zoom in, you're not going to make that appear any bigger. It is full. You know what? I think we get this same weird phenomena right out our backyard. Because in the wintertime, you can see the trucks and the cars going by on the highway. And it looks like the highway is like right there because they look so big. But when you go along the highway, the house is teeny tiny. Angularly, it would be about the same size. From the highway looking at the house looks about the same size as a car does from here looking at the cars. Remember that one video Mark Sargent showed where they're going down the road and there's that building off in the background and it's real big? It's this huge building, and then they get up over this hill and start going down, and the building shrinks and is like off on some little island.
I do remember that video.
Yep. Yeah, and it's showing this magnification that happens it's not a once in a while thing. It happens every single time. And I think it has to do with just being above our eye line at a certain angle makes things appear big. I don't know. I need to do some testing on this because I'm seeing it like every day looking out the window. Like the truck goes by and it looks huge. It looks like it's 100 yards away. But then you go out to the highway and drive by and the house looks like it's a quarter mile away. So I don't know how I got onto that, but there's something to that. Sorry about that. I don't know how I got onto the visual.
I know. I don't know where we got on that either, but I definitely understand what you mean about it, especially with that whole trying to take a picture of the moon thing. It's almost...
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's it. Yeah, when the moon and sun appear huge on the horizon, take a picture and get me that picture of the moon looking that big or the sun looking that big without zooming in. It won't happen.
And they say it's because there's something there to compare it to. It's the exact same size as it is all the time in the sky. But on the horizon is when you have something to compare it to things on the ground. So it's an optical illusion that makes it appear bigger, they say.
See, I'm not buying that though.
I don't buy it either.
Put your head between your legs, that thing is still right there to compare it to. Yeah, I don't know. Weird stuff. But yeah, there is that hue where it just makes things appear bigger. And I've been thinking about that, looking at these cars going by, like, dude, they look like I could throw a rock at them. They're close enough. But it's 300 yards away, easy.
I think that's got to be more of that whole Oh, there we go, Daz, right there on it. That whole personal experience thing. I don't know. It's just all. I say it's almost impossible to capture, and then I do know there are photographers with abilities far beyond those of myself who have, you've seen the picture of like the planetarium and there's the full moon next to it and it's huge, or the castle with the moon going by, or during the eclipse, everybody took the special shots. And because they used either the right settings, the right filter, the right lensing, whatever they did, because they're photography, experts and not just people with cell phones like myself, they got it and they captured it and they were able to get that effect that we're talking about. But it still isn't what you're seeing. You just get that point of reference in the picture, but it still doesn't capture that big, huge orange.
Mm-hmm.
I always think about that shit, that shot in, even though he's Satan spawn, that shot in Joe versus the Volcano where Tom Hanks stands up on the raft in front of the full moon, and it's just.
I never knew it was so big.
So yeah,
that part. Yeah, that's a good part in the movie. Even though I haven't watched a Tom Hanks movie since Flat Earth started.
Fuck that dude.
No, I never saw Sully or any of the ones that he's done.
When
I think
he
the
started
last one I
tweeting those
saw was
fucking
Apollo 13. Was the
freaky
last
fucking
Tom Hanks
tweets with the fucking weird over pedophilic tones, and then left the country and got called out by what's his name, the comedian. Anyway, yeah, I don't want to get into all that shit because fuck him.
And the man with one red shoe. Probably no coincidence. Probably absolutely nothing to do with a group of people that wear red shoes.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, okay, everybody out in chat needs to come up for a space startup. And we'll submit them to whoever. But the startup Aquarian Space aims to deliver high-speed internet at the moon. And maybe Mars.
It's about damn time too. That's all I'm saying.
They're gonna launch a lunar satellite by 2024, and they've already raised $650,000 in seed money to start up this program.
So they've raised about 0.01% of what they're going to need. Whoop-de-doo!
Yeah, but 650, they're sitting around on their asses doing nothing. None of that money's going towards space. Come on. They're out there playing with bottle rockets in the backyard saying, we're getting ready. Its first lunar communication system by 2024. Yeah, too bad nobody's going to be there to use it. See, this is what we can do. We can make up stuff that we could use on Mars or the moon, and we don't got to worry about ever actually getting it done because we'll just keep kicking it down the road like they do. We could say it's based on technology issues. Well, they keep advancing the technology, and the one we designed isn't made for Windows 10 yet.
What we do is we do it like NASA. We put out a big campaign, we set it up, we spin it with all the space whoop-de-doo, la-di-da, bull crap. We're going to Mars with a helicopter and blah, blah, blah.
People can't get high-speed internet. Sorry.
Right, on the moon or on Mars.
In Arizona. You can't get high-speed internet up in the Colorado Rockies if you live up there. You can't get high-speed internet. But yet, if you lived on the moon, you'd be able to get it. And who's going to be there to test it? They could tell us it works. Oh, yeah. I already did it. There's high-speed internet up there. What are you talking about? Where's my money? I already got high-speed internet up there. You don't believe me? Go check it. Yeah, it's $650,000 of morons' money. See, I just couldn't do that, though. I can't take money from moron for nothing.
They're probably going to do the exact same thing that I'm talking about is once they get the money, then they'll launch it all on balloons like NASA does. And they'll have the little balloon routers or whatever they have up there floating around.
I was wondering if that's what a satellite telephone was, because they say, you can get a real satellite telephone that will pretty much work just about anywhere. You could be like out in the middle of the Amazon jungle. And what if it is they just have a balloon that tracks your GPS position and keeps within sight? They know where you're going to be, the roundabout area. I'm going to be going in here. Yeah, we got balloons all over the place. We're going to, okay, he can talk with this balloon. I don't know. I was always wondering about those satellite phones, but I've never had one to test it to see if it actually worked either. Oh, man. Brian saying they're just extremely long-range radios, and I could see that too.
Yep, shaped
Kinda
like a phone.
ham radio. Yeah. Yeah, you can talk on a ham radio. I guess there's still people who do it. They pirate out onto the airwaves.
Yeah.
And message.
Uh-huh.
And I guess this used to be a lot bigger back in the day.
You'd be surprised. There's still groups of people that go around trying to triangulate pirate radio people. Yeah. You'd be surprised how many people out there get it just to F you. Yeah.
Man, you got to wonder how much time and effort and people they have working at like radio stations and any kind of telecommunication, anything to stop people from using their radio waves,
Oh.
Like ABC and all that.
Yeah.
National Broadcast System.
You put a government agency over the whole thing and you just start hiring a bunch of people into the public sector and you pay them with tax dollars and you give them a big, fat, cushy retirement and medical insurance and benefit package. Then they'll never want to leave. And you say, hey, FCC, now you're in control of these airwaves. Yep.
I wonder what they would do if there were what if all of a sudden 50,000 people decided, hey, I'm going to go and try to jump on all these different airwaves. I could see a couple people they could handle, But what if you turned on your TV and you didn't see Fox on Fox's channel? What if you saw Ironworx Media doing this?
Saw fucking Max Headroom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Probably be like in They Live when they would mess with the satellite. I mean, with the broadcast and interrupt with their little whatever spiel, and the guys would sit there. Oh, I'm starting to get a headache because they weren't getting their brain fuckery on a regular basis.
Well, it was that one a Twilight Zone episode on the first season, and there was only 2 or 3 seasons of the Twilight Zone, but it was like 50 episodes per season, something crazy. But on the first season, where the aliens came and landed, right, and they were just testing this one town, and this was back in the 50s or whatever, and we weren't all connected like we are today. So all they did in this one town is turn off all their electricity and all their television and radio and all that kind of stuff. And they sat back and watched. They let them see their ship come and land, and then they turned all that stuff off. And the people all started turning on each other within a couple days and started killing each other pretty much. Oh, what is that? I forget the name of it. On something street, I think it's called. But yeah, and he's like, we were just testing to make sure to see. Yeah, we figured, all we have to do is take away your little amenities and give you some kind of a threat to be worried about, and you all will destroy each other. And we were right. Like, we don't have to come down here with weapons and destroy these people. We just have to take away their comforts of life and put an external threat into the atmosphere. Something like that. Yeah, they were really programming people. I think that was the start of the space programming, Well, no. I mean, the first movie was what? The Man on the Moon? Journey to the Moon or something like that?
Something
Very
like that.
first.
Méliès in the, what, 20s, 30s, black and white French silent movie guy. He did his, yeah, First Man on the Moon.
And what were the people that were going to the moon?
They
Were
were
they
wizards.
scientists? Oh, yeah. They weren't scientists. They were wizards.
And what did they find when they got there?
And magical
Weird
land. Yeah.
aliens.
Giant mushrooms. And yeah. And how did they get to the moon? A big giant
Bullet.
cannon.
Give me
Shot a
back my
bullet.
bullet.
Yes. So yeah, they've been. It's crazy. It seems like it's all around 100 years old. 150 years old, maybe. And that's just when they started. That's not even when people started believing them in mass. Because we found what in the 30s, teachers here in the United States were being persecuted for trying to teach the heliocentric model. You know, you tell that to a Globie who's never heard it before, and they think you're insane. It's amazing how we can be molded and manipulated. And it's really, you know, a generational thing. The first generation, I'm sure they had some troubles with. Even the second, but that third generation, no, it's your parents are telling you this stuff. Not just your government, but everybody's telling you all this stuff. This is how it is. It's you got to give it to them. It's genius that they even pulled it off. But I think the people pulling the strings now are too inbred, maybe. They've kept it in the family way too much. And they're just getting sloppy. They're not following protocol. Oh, I just saw. I need to get a copy of Moral and Dogmas by Albert Pike. It used to be given out to every Freemason once they reached the 14th degree, I believe. Maybe the 12th degree. Somewhere right around there. Once you became a 12th or 14th, one of these degrees in Masonry, you were given Morals and Dogma by Albert Pike. And it even says in there that just as the ancients believed, and as far as we can tell, the earth is a level plane. I was looking through Flat Earth today, and somebody had shared that. Flat Earth and Moral and Dogmas by Albert Pike.
I was totally off. 1902, A Trip to the Moon. Le Voyage dans la Lune was the actual title of Méliès' first. The image you think of with the moon and the moon with the bullet sticking out of the eyeball and it's dripping cream like a pie face. That's that movie.
Yeah, the moon's got a bullet stuck in his eye.
Yeah. There's somewhere right now, there's a collection that it's out there. They put all of his stuff. I sat and watched it for some considerable time, and there's quite a bit of imagery and symbolism and stuff that they're telling. He was a magician. That's a lot of his stuff that turned into what we use for special effects now were based on magic tricks. So, yeah.
Rico in chat's asking, what's Moral and Dogmas about? It's
I think that's two different things. I think he was trying to read the weird string of letters that Daz had typed in chat.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what he was trying to read. He's read through Morals and Dogma. A friend has an old copy.
Right. Yeah, they stopped giving them out to the Masons back in the 70s. I think because copies were getting out. But it's not something they do. They might nowadays, who knows? But yeah, it used to be more like easily available, more copies out there. I'm sure you can go find one on eBay. You think they have fake copies? There's got to be.
It makes sense.
You think?
Convolute. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I would almost guarantee that they have copies that are, meant to be spread as somewhat disinfo and leave out some major key, even just words. A word can change everything. One word in a paragraph can change the whole thing. One word in a book.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I'd love an original copy.
Language is very important.
Exactly. And if you can understand that, I'd give you a cookie. There's this one guy, I'm telling you. Just go look up Stephen Hawking speaking. And you will not find a video where you can understand what Stephen is saying. But there's a guy sitting next to him that he thinks he does, and he's just rambling on as Stephen's mumbling. And
yeah, his TA or something, his teacher's assistant or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Just interpreting. Yeah. I don't know.
Talking about quasars and pulsars and black and Stephen, just going on. Little Sam Kinison in there.
Sam Kinison. That's how you know when he gets excited. When he starts to go full Sam Kinison.
I love y'all. You guys have a great day out there. Great evening, great afternoon, wherever you are.
Love you guys. Thank y'all so much, truly.
Always a pleasurable way to start the day. But
Don't forget, Intellectual Catch-Up tonight.
8 p.m.
It's going to be an awesome show.
Yes, indeed it will.
Deborah says hey to everybody.
And we got something big coming up on Friday, don't we, Zach? Did you ever get a confirmation there?
Nope, I never got it. Not yet.
All right, well then fucking never mind. We have no idea what's going on for Friday. Give me something to think about today. Anyway, you guys, thanks for hanging out with us this morning. Have a great rest of your day. And we will see you back here Friday morning for another exciting episode of the Ironworks. In the meantime, be good, be well. We love you. Bye-bye.